All right, let's try to work around the paragraph box or the paragraph group commands. With the paragraph group commands, we use it to work on paragraphs. So here we have some commands like trying to position our text by using left alignment, which is this one, or center alignment, or right alignment, or justify alignment. Now we can use any of this, any of these to position our text within the document. And then this button called bullet or bulletin is used to create bullet, and it could either be made manually or automatic or auto bulletin. And then we have the numbering system whereby we can use it to number our text like 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's try to first look at the alignment, the types of alignment we have here. Then we can look at the bullet and numbering. Then we focus on the rest. Okay. With the left alignment, that is the default alignment whenever you open your Microsoft Word, meaning it is the original or the organic position of every text or where your cursor is. The cursor is what is blinking now. What is blinking now here? That is the cursor. Now, once you click here, that is where your cursor is going to be. Now, if you click on this one called the center alignment, it will push your text to the middle of the text. On the row that you are. On this row, this particular row, on this row, it will move it to the center. When you click on the left alignment, it will move it to the if you click on the right alignment, it will move it to the right side of that particular row. Okay. Now let's try to click it back. So now type some heading like this: political type something like this, and then position it at the center of your work. Now pause the video and then do this work. Type political science student and then position it at the center. Okay, if you're able to do it, good work. Now let's look at what the justification is used for, or the justify alignment. The justify alignment distributes the text within a particular paragraph evenly. So now supposing we want to use, let's try using the justify for this paragraph. So first of all, we select it and then we click on the justify. Now watch what is going to happen to the text at this very end. Let's look at it. I click on it and you see that it has distributed the text evenly to the end of the margin. So the starting point is evenly distributed, and then the ending too is evenly distributed. Now, since we all invoke the same quantity of paragraph, let's try and then justify this paragraph, the second paragraph, or let's try to use the justify alignment for the second paragraph. So I have selected my paragraph. Select yours too, and let's move together. Now I'm going to click on the justify. Are you with me? Okay. Let's click on the justify together. Now look at it again. You can see that the text on the second paragraph too has been distributed evenly to the margin. When I say margin, the empty space here, the empty space here are what is called margin, or the empty space at the top of this document here. That is the margin. So wherever you see this gray color thing, it is telling you that from that gray color, from the beginning of that gray color to the ending of that gray color is the what? The margin. So here too, you see that there's gray color from this end to this end. So when you come down, you see that there's the margin there. Here too, you can see that there's this gray color from here to this end. When you bring it down, you see that there's a margin. I hope you have seen that. If you had difficulty understanding it, you can reverse the video a bit, watch it again. If you're having problem understanding, or you had it difficult locating what we did, kindly reverse the video a bit and then watch it again. So now we are done with the alignment. Let's go on. Make sure that whatever I'm doing, you'll be doing the same to follow me. If I do one thing, you pause the video and then you try to do it. So this is called line and paragraph spacing. This particular command, it is called line and paragraph spacing. That being said, we are saying that it is used to space a line or provide spaces within lines in a paragraph. So let's try to use it and see. Whenever you want to whenever you want to introduce space within your paragraph, make sure that you've selected your paragraph. So I've selected my paragraph. If I click on this arrow, meaning I want to know the types or the number of paragraphs or spacing we have here. Now we have 1.0. But bear in mind, once you hover, when I say hover, meaning once you move your cursor on that command, on any command, you see that it will be appearing here. So now, when I hover on this one, you see that below or on that particular paragraph, you see that it will be changing, meaning it will be giving you a preview of what will happen when you click on it. So example like this, when you choose the 1.5, you see it has increased the spaces. When we point it at 2.0, it has increased the spaces. It is telling us that when we click on this, this will be the effect. So now the effect has taken place. So you can see that the spaces within this paragraph has changed as compared to the rest of the paragraphs. So please try clicking on each of them to explore how it will work. again, mind you, from this point, from 1.0 to 3.0 is used to space a line. It is used to space a line. So we can have something like this. We're about to type something. We can have something like this. Now, once I type this and I press enter, and I type the same thing again, you can see that there's a space between these two text, two sentences. Now, or these two lines. In Microsoft Word, whenever you press enter, it considers it as a paragraph, not just a line, but a new paragraph. So you type something and you press enter, it treats it as a paragraph. But when you type something in one paragraph, let's say something like this one, you see that you have different lines, something like this paragraph. You see that you have lines within the various paragraphs available to you. So click on any of the line spacing points we have here to change the spacings within your paragraph or your lines. There are more options here, the line spacing options. When you come here, you can manually type in the spacing here. You can manually type the spacing here and then here. So try and be clicking to explore. Now, these two spaces provided here are mainly to work on a paragraph. I repeat, these two boxes we have here, being this one and this one, are purposely used to work on a paragraph. Now you can see that we have before and after. Now, add space before a paragraph, remove space before a paragraph. Now, if you want to introduce a space before a paragraph, let's say this is a paragraph. Okay, this is a paragraph. So this is a paragraph, this is a paragraph, this is a paragraph. Now, if you want to make sure that there's a space between this paragraph and then the ending of this paragraph and then the beginning of this paragraph, we just have to select this one, this paragraph, and then bring add space before the paragraph. Now look, once I hover the mouse on this place, on this one, the add space before paragraph, you see that there will be a space here. It will increase the space between the first paragraph and then the second paragraph. So if you want the paragraph to be after, if you want the space between the paragraph to be after the paragraph, then you select this one. So now let's go on. Now this is use the fill color or the shading. Mostly we call this shading. Shading. I repeat, this is called shading. Now, if you want to shade the background of a particular paragraph, you first of all select the paragraph, and then you click on this arrow to change the color of the paragraph, the background of the paragraph. I'm going to go over again. I'm saying with this shading, it is used to change the background of a text. So supposing we want to shade this paragraph, you first of all select it, and then we'll click on this arrow to choose the color we want for the background. So pause the video and then do the same thing. Good. Now, let's move on. This is called borders, and this is what it is used for. Now remember, borders, we can ensure borders on a page or around a paragraph. Borders can be on a page or a paragraph. If it has to do with a paragraph, then you would have to use the borders command within the paragraph box. So you click on the arrow here, and then these are the various options that you can use it to apply borders to your paragraph. So for example, let's try to hover the mouse on this one. You see that once I hover the mouse on this one called the bottom border, you see a line displaying at the bottom of my paragraph. So if I want to put a border on the top of my paragraph, I would just have to select the top border. Now you can see that there's a line on top of this paragraph. So whenever you want to ensure paragraph on every single border, you make sure that you click on them one by one. So for example, if I want to bring border at the right hand side of my paragraph, I will, if I want to bring a border to my right side of my paragraph, I will just choose right border. And then once I choose right border, you see that the border will appear here. So let's do it together. You see, now the border is showing here. So try and add a border to your second paragraph. Now add a border to your second paragraph and also change the background color of your text. I mean, shade your paragraph. So this is how you shade your paragraph. You select the paragraph and then you come here to select the color. Then to add a border, you select it and then you come here. So supposing we want to ensure that there's border around the outside of our text of our paragraph, you just select this one and you see that we have a border around our text. So explore, be clicking through to see how it works. Now bear in mind, if you want to add borders and shadings from here, you can do it as well. This is it. Now here, let me go over again. If you want to add borders, there's another way to go by it. You can choose it from this side. So let's click on it and see. Be practicing whatever I'm doing. If you want to do something, you can pause the video. Once you finish watching, you can pause the video and then you practice. Then you come and continue. So we have different style of borders. So we can choose any of it and then apply it to our paragraph. So you can see that we have a very nice paragraph here. So what I'm saying is, if you want to have a different border design, you first of all have to select your paragraph and then you click here and then you come and choose borders and shading. Borders and shading, this one, this very one, borders and shading. Now once you select that one, you click here and you have the chance to choose from many types. So we have many design here. I can choose this one, and here you reduce the size of your border. So here, if you want to reduce the size of your border, you use this one. You select this one, and if you want to change the color of your border, now you have it to be black. If you want to change it, you click here and then choose a different color. When you are done, you can just click OK. And now you see we have our border around our paragraph. So this is how you can apply a border to your paragraph. Okay, let's move on. So be exploring, be clicking through to see how it will work. Okay. Now, supposing you've created borders around it and you want to remove it, don't panic. Just click on highlight the paragraph again and then just click on no border. So let's try to do it. I'll select my paragraph and then you can see that I've selected my paragraph already. So I'll come to the borders and then I'll select no border. This very one. You see that once I select the border, now the borders that we have here is gone. Okay, so take your time and then be practicing what we are doing. Okay, so let's continue. Let's continue. This is called bullets. This is where we used to create bullet list. And this is what I mean by bullet list. A situation whereby we can type something like mango, orange, banana, and so forth. Now, we can bullet to list it. So what you have to do to bullet this is to highlight it, select it, and then you click on bullet. You click on bullet. You see that you've created a bullet list. On the other hand, we can type it whilst we bullet it, and we don't have to type it. We don't have to type it before we can go and bullet it. We can just start bulleting whilst we type. So let's try. And that one, you would have to click on the bullet command and then you start typing. So let's give it a try. I've now clicked on the bullet. You see that once I click on the bullet, the sign will appear here. The bullet sign will appear here, and then the cursor will be blinking. Good. So I mean I can type. So let's say mango. And then once you press enter, it will create another bullet for you. So orange, onion, in that order. So anytime you press enter, it will create a new one for you. So supposing you bulleted some list and you don't want the bullet anymore, all that you have to do is select it and then go back and then click on the bullet again, and you see it will be gone. Now if you care to repeat it, you can reverse the video and then watch it again. Now let's go to, this is called numbering. Numbering is whereby we are trying to create a list order like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up to infinity, right? So that one too, we can type whatever we want to type, and when we are done, we can come and click on the numbering command, or we can just clear it, and then before we start typing, we click on the numbering before we type. So let's give it a try. Now I just click on it. You see, once I click on it, you see the number showing here, meaning I have my first list number, which is 1. So after typing mango, I press enter, then it will give me 2. I type orange, I press enter, it will give me 3. I type onion, I press enter, it will give me 4. So in that order. Once you click this one and you type, it will be giving you the numbering system continuously. Okay. Now, let's bear in mind that when it comes to the bulletin, we can always customize our bulletin. So for example, we want to create some bullet list. We can create a bullet list from the default ones we have here. We can click on this one, which is what we just used, then this one, we can use this one, this one, whichever style you want to use. You can use any of these. You bullet them. So pause and then try to create your bullet, and let's see how best you can do it. Create a bullet list of okay, let me type it for you. So this is your exercise now. Pause the video and then do it now. This is your exercise now. Create a bullet list of 6 items and 6 numbered lists. So like I said, you can click on this one and then you start typing. Once you press enter, it will show, enter, it will show, enter, it will show, enter, it will show. So now let's move on. With the bullet numbering system, we can try to define new bulletin style, meaning we can use any picture at all we want. So you go to define new bullet, and then we have symbol. If you want to use any symbol, you click on this and you have list of symbol opening for you. So you see I have different symbols here. I can click on any of them and then click OK, and then click OK. You see that now it has created, now it has used that symbol to create bullet list for me, right? Okay, let's move on. So same way, we can also come here and then go to define new bullet. Define new bullet, right? When you click on it, you have the chance to choose a picture. So work offline. I have so many pictures here. I can choose the picture of UW to create my bullet style. So you see now I have my bullet style here being the crest of UW. So I'm going back over this. I'm saying if you want to customize your bulletin with a picture, you right click this small drop sign. Then you click there. When you click there, then you come and click define new bullet. So when you see the define new bullet, then you click on it. When you click on it, then you see that you have the chance to choose from symbol or picture or change the font. Now what we want to do is we want to use a picture. So this is Microsoft Office for you. When you don't have any internet, it will ask you whether to try again or work offline. So now we will click work offline. So work offline. Once it opens, it will open a dialog box for you to choose where you want to locate your picture. So I want to use the crest of UW. So I will just select the crest and then click on insert. So once you insert the picture, you see that it will give you a preview of how it is going to look like. Then you go ahead and click OK. Okay, so this is the crest for you. It's just happening that it is very tiny, so you don't see it. This is it. Okay, we have created it, so this is it. This is it. So whenever you type something and you press enter, it will create the list for you. Okay, let's move on. With the numbering tool, it's not always about 1, 2, 3. It could be A, B, C, D, or it could be 1 bracket close. It could be this or this one or I, like Roman numerals, or it could be ABCD whereby we have the alphabet in capitals, or it could be small letters. So whichever way you want to use your bulletin, this is it. So this is how you access it. You first of all click where you want to start your numbering system, then you click on this arrow, then you choose from whichever one that you want to choose from. So let's try to create a question and then a possible answer. So before we can start the question, we can either use any of this for the questions or we can use this one. I prefer we use this one. So let's say And okay, let's use which of the following is an input device. Okay, so now remember we selected this one for the question. So the next thing is to press enter. You see that it will give you two, right? Don't worry, leave the two and then come and click. I'm saying leave these two alone. Don't bother the two. And then come and click at the end of the first question and then press enter again. When you press enter, it will create another number. Press the backspace. Let me repeat. You bring your cursor at the end of the first sentence. You press enter, it will create a new number for you. Then you press the backspace. Now when you press the backspace, you will see that it will clean, or it will clear the 2 here, and then the 3 will change to 2. Now let's try to create the possible answers. So once you clear it, you come here again and then select which of this alphabet style you want. I prefer this one. So A, keyboard. Then you press enter. You see that once you press enter, it will be numbering it for you in a very correct order. So B, monitor. C, let's say printer. You see, everything keeps working. So now this is your assignment. Type exactly this one and then show it to me in class. Or you can type this one and then screenshot it and then put it in the WhatsApp group page. So let's move on. We are now on, sorry, I didn't tell you. The example we did by using a question and then possible answers is what we mean by this one. Okay, this is called multi-level list. Multi-level list. So we are done with that. Now let's try to look at what is called decrease and increase indent. This is indent, and then this is to decrease the indent, and this is to increase the indent. What we mean by indenting is that suppose you want to create a paragraph, you only have to click here wherever we started our text and then press this one. Now you see we've created an indent. If you want to decrease the indent, this one. But supposing you are typing a letter and you want to start indent, you can start indenting before starting to type. You can click on this, then you start to type. I hope that is okay. In that order. Okay, let me throw more light on the indenting. So let's say we are typing a letter and we want to create an indent, like say we want to start a new paragraph, we can create a new paragraph by starting to indent the text. And this is what I mean. You could see that the text was here. Let me go back. The text starts from here, here, but then to create an indent, this is what I mean. You try to create a space between the starting point of the initial text and that of where our current text starts. And mostly we know that when we are typing a letter, we start by creating this type of indent. Good. So we can start our indenting by using the decrease indent and then the increase indent. We can either use the tab key on the keyboard. So it's not always the case that we use the decrease indent or increase indent. To ensure that there's an indent from the beginning of a text, you can simply press the tab key on your keyboard to create the space from the starting point of the text to the next starting point. And this is what I mean by indenting. It is always recommended that you use the tab key on your keyboard to create the indenting. It is always advisable. Now you have to observe that before I indented the text, check on my ruler. You could see that the hanging indent and then the first line indent, which are these two, we have the first line indent, which is this small thing here at the top, and then the left indent is this small thing down here, and then the hanging indent is this thing here. Now whenever you create an indent, Microsoft Word uses either this or that to create the indenting. So most of the time you see that the first line indent, which is signifying that once you click the tab, the first line here will make some modifications. So let's try. So I press tab here and you see that I created a space here, and then the first line indent, which is this one, has moved from its original position, which was this place, to the current position. It is telling us that the first line, this first line indent, so the first line has been indented with this particular space provided here. Whichever way, you can use the decrease and then the increase indent. But then I'm saying it again, it is always recommended that you use the tab key on your keyboard to create the indenting. Okay, so thank you, and we are done with the paragraph box.